Hello everybody and welcome. In this video we are going to create a lovely Christmas card using the stamp set that comes in the Paper Pumpkin kit, Joy to the World. Paper Pumpkin kits are not frequently available here in the South Pacific and any market that's outside North America, and it's really exciting that we've got it. It's a beautiful kit and I demonstrated it last week, and this week we're going to take the stamp set from that kit and create our own card. My name is Tatiana. I'm from Australia and I stamp and blog at Tatiana Creative, a stamping adventure. Thank you so much for joining me. I love to create cards, and Christmas time is the most wonderful time to create some homemade cards to send out to family and friends to let them know that you're thinking of them. 2020 has been quite a year. I wouldn't even call it bad particularly, it's just unprecedented, and I like to think of it as historical. And what a better way to mark a historical year with ending it with some beautiful homemade cards. So let's head to the craft desk and get started. So I've got Whisper White for the inside of the card. I've got the stamp set. So this is the stamp set that comes in the Paper Pumpkin kit. This is the Paper Pumpkin kit. And I am cheating one little step. So this is the wreath that comes in the Paper Pumpkin and it lines up with the stamp, so I was going to use that just to kind of make things a little bit easier. And then I've got some balmy blue. I've got a card base which I've pre-cut and scored, so let's prep that. There we go. And then I've got the exact same size balmy blue card front. I'm not sure if I want it the same size or actually, yeah, no, I'll keep it the same size. No, I'm going to trim it down. Sorry. Can never decide what I want to do. So I'm going to trim this down by just 5 millimeters off each side to get a bit of a border, because we are going to add some color to this first. And you'll see what I mean, but I'm going to use the brand new, which are only available to demonstrators from the 1st of November, blending brushes. And what I'm going to do is blend from the outside and leave the middle so that we've got a darker blue all the way around and then a lighter blue inside. And I'll use balmy blue ink. So it's balmy blue paper on with balmy blue ink. I've got a brand new clean brush. And all you do is swirl it onto the ink pad to pick up some color, and then you swirl. I find the best is the circular motion on the card front. Make sure you've always got some scratch paper or a grid paper behind, because you don't want that ink on your table. I mean, you may, who knows, but I don't recommend it. Oh, got my fingernail into that. That not cool. Ooh, there we go. It's not crafting if you don't get a little bit messy, hey? So we can turn around. I always like to start off the page that I'm trying to get the ink on, because that way I have a bit more control and it glides smoothly on. So that was the one thing with the sponge dobblers and the stamping sponges, is they don't glide as easily onto the card over the edge and they get a bit ripped. Whereas with the stamping blends, or the stamping blends, with the blending brushes, which I'm demonstrating here right now, it really glides on super smoothly, which is so exciting. And you basically just build the color. With that, what I might do is I want to darken the edges, so I'm keeping the center of that the the original cardstock color, which is the balmy blue, and I want the edges to be a little darker. So there's a few ways we can achieve this. One is by continuing to build that color with balmy blue ink, or we can grab a darker blue and start adding that just to the edges. What I might do is I'm kind of trying to create a little bit of a halo, I guess, effect, because we're going to put that there. So keeping that there, keeping that in mind. Fantastic, and I'm going to bring in another ink pad. Close that one up. What I'm going to do is just rub that, and I am going to use the same I'm going to just give it a quick wipe on my Stampin' sponge. No, what are they called? Oh my goodness. Well, it wouldn't be a day if I don't forget something. The chamois. And then just onto my paper, and you can see that there's no ink coming off there. And then now I can grab, I'm just thinking, let's try Pacific Point. It's been a while since I've used Pacific Point. I'm going to be super light with this, so I'm not pressing too hard into that ink pad, and I'm keeping to the edges only of the cardstock. But you should see the difference already. I can. Hopefully the camera is picking up that difference as well. So it's just giving, it's actually a bright blue, this one. If you wanted to use a darker blue that's not as bright, you could try Misty Moonlight, but I wanted something a little bit brighter. And I'm not going to go as far into the cardstock as I was with the Balmy Blue, because I just want this to be along those edges. Fabulous. Pretty. Hey Joanne, and hello Helen, how are you both? Hope you're going well. Done some blending with the new blending brushes, and so you can see there's a bit of colour left, and what I do is just wipe that onto my grid paper just to remove that extra ink. Yep, I love them. Couldn't wait. So as a demonstrator who participated in on stage, well, not participated, but who was registered for on stage at home, I was able to purchase these in my PPP, and we were limited to one packet, but one packet has 3 brushes. And has the video paused? My iPad has paused. Hope the video is still continuing. Oh, there we go, caught up. There, so I've got 3, inked one on Monday night with pink, that was Rococo Rose, and I'll do a test in cleaning them as well and share the results of that, but it's not too hard. What we shall do is flip that. It's got a bit of stamping there, but okay, now let's work out the best way to stamp this, because apparently I didn't actually watch the video. There is a video done by demonstrators showing you how to line this up, and it's, if you notice the little corner bit there, that helps you line things up, which I didn't take note of, but I didn't get a chance to watch the video properly, so I'm going to wing it here. But I'm going to know that that corner is there, and what I might even do is take a marker and mark that corner so that I know which one it is. If that flips around this way, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that guide. Yes, so Joanne has asked if I brushed, instead of brushing on my scrap or on my grid paper, I could brush it on a piece of Whisper White, and then it would not be wasteful. Hold on, I'm trying to work out which way am I supposed to. That is not lining up, because that was that corner there. That lines up. Okay, so I'm looking at it this way. And I've got a feeling it's got to do with this little point here. Nope. Maybe. I don't know if it really matters either. I don't think it really matters, so let's just stamp it. Hey, you were about to suggest a marker. I've given up, but then part of me wants to crack this. I don't even know if it's crackable or if it's something to be cracked. Look, if you have more patience than me, feel free to crack this one. I don't have patience. I am going to move on by using the Just Jade ink pad. And ink that up. And I want it a bit more subtle, so I'm going to stamp off briefly, well, lightly, and then stamp on here. I like it. I think it works. And it'll look very pretty in our background that we've created, as so. And I did trim that, so when you stick that down, it will be having that light border around again, which I really like. And that's why I decided to trim that down. So if you're just joining, I would have, at the beginning of this video, I had this cardstock cut to the same size as the card front, but I changed my mind and trimmed it down just by 5 millimeters. Let's see. Pretty. Now the reason why I've used the bit from the kit is because I was lazy and I didn't want to try to fussy cut around the middle. But otherwise you could just stamp it, color it, and there's the stamps of the berries as well, and stamp it all that. Joanne, there's nobody else commenting, to be honest. It's a bit of a silent crowd tonight, or today. That's okay. What I wanted to do next was take this beautiful flower, and I was going to stamp it, and we're going to add it to the top of our wreath, like so. And we're going to color it in using Stampin' Blends. Now let's see. No, find another piece of scrap Whisper White. This may do. Yes, it shall. And Memento ink for when you are. Memento ink for when you are going to use your Stampin' Blends to color. Got that. And then we'll stamp the same flower on the corner of our card insert. Over here. And on our envelope. I'll grab the envelope. Oh! Flipping things around. Still need that. And I like to put it at the top right hand, or top left hand corner of the envelope. So we'll leave it black on the envelope, but we're going to color in this one and this one. I'm going to use Poppy Parade for the flower. Oh, actually, no. Let's use a pink. I know. We'll use, magenta? No. Let's use, where is it? Maybe Magenta Madness. Melon Mambo. we go. We'll use Melon Mambo for the flower. Just, you know, so I'm starting with Melon Mambo dark, and I'm going to add it in where all the kind of darker areas are. And then blend that. So there's no right or wrong way of using Stampin' Blends. This is my favorite way, is by adding the dark to the areas of shadow or darkness, not darkness, I don't like that word, to the areas of shadow, and then coming in with the light, colouring in the rest and blending where they go together. Now Stampin' Blends, as you colour, kind of the ink, not the ink, the alcohol evaporates, and as it does, the image kind of blends in a bit nicer and develops. So don't panic if you feel like it doesn't look great. Just give it a few minutes to do its thing, and you'll always find that it's blended quite nicely and that it looks fabulous. This is super easy. Now, if you don't have a blending brush because you cannot purchase them yet, there are a few options. Option one is join my team, and you can purchase them on the 1st of December and have them in time for some Christmas cards. Highly recommend that one. The other option is to use a Stampin' sponge or a sponge doubler to create that blended look in. We're going to use Just Jade for the greenery. Making sure I've got Just Jade, yep. So again, I start with the dark and blend out with the light combo. Now you can also combine, so just because these are sold in pairs, not into pairs, just because they're sold in pairs, so if you wanted to, you could use the Just Jade Dark as the light version to, say, Shaded Spruce Light. You know, you can combine them as well. But what's good about using the pair that they're originally in is that they work really well together. Okay, and then I'm going to use, to keep it all simple, I'm going to use magenta. No, I decided this is Melon Mambo, not magenta. And actually, I might even colour the centres in that. So I'm not introducing another colour here. It's just the two. And we can now adhere that one to the card on the inside. Ooh. There is still glue in there, that's why I don't want to start a new one. I like to use up my supplies completely before I open the next one. Okay, so I'm going to fussy cut this flower out. It's not going to take too long or too hard. Snip, snip that corner out. And when I'm fussy cutting, I like to start with the more complicated area so that it's done and dusted, and then I can just have fun. I know some people would be like, fussy cutting, fun? No, but for me it is. And when I start with the more complex area of the fussy cutting, it also gives me a lot more cardstock to hold on to because it hasn't been cut away yet. And that makes it easier to turn. And it also means that I can get that bit done and dusted and not worry about it as I finish off with the really smooth sailing kind of fussy cutting. That's just me. You can fussy cut however you would like. I do love this flower though. I think it's so pretty. Coordinates with the flower that's in the kit, that the die cut, but this one's smaller. And that's kind of fun. You could combine the two into a project and get some really nice effects as well. Everyone's super quiet today. Anyone got their Christmas tree up yet? I don't know if I'll bother, because yeah, there's too many families to visit that I don't feel like we spend enough time at home to justify a tree at home. So there we go, a little wreath. Let's pop that up on some dimensionals. Oh, need another sheet of the big ones. And then by running my fingernail on behind, I find that releases that release paper a lot easier. Put the flower there. So we could do with some small dimensionals behind. Ooh. So, and before I start sticking anything down, I want to decide if I want to stamp, joy. Do you know what? I'm going to just go with Merry Christmas. Nice and simple. And I'll place it down there. I'm going to use the Pacific Point ink, because that's the one that's darker and it's on the edge. There. Fantastic, love it. And then we'll add a little bit of bling. Oh, I know which ones. Okay. Let's do a quick tidy up and place our wreath. And so, and making sure I do add a little bit of glue to behind the flower for that to adhere down to onto the wreath. Now if you wanted, you could have done a few flowers. That would look really lovely as well. I didn't want to spend too much time on that kind of stuff. And here they are. I think we'll use the flowers for every season. Now, I really, really like these clear ones. I think they look fantastic on projects. So I'm going to grab them and place them approximately where I would like them on the card. Put one in there. No, don't think we need one in there. Prefer a smaller one there. Should be using my Take Your Pick tool, but you know. Let's see. There. I like it as there. Hey Fran, thanks for joining. How are you? That's okay, you're not late. You just, you've got the replay to watch, all the recordings, so it doesn't really matter. But I really like the dewy look that those gems give, and my trick is to use the glue dots from the paper pumpkin kits, or the kits, to adhere these down. So I grab and place that down. So the Take Your Pick tool is fantastic at this point. It really helps with placing these dots as well as then adhering everything down. So these aren't the regular glue dots, these are the ones that come in the Paper Pumpkin kits. And I use the Take Your Pick tool to pick them up and to place onto my project, the pointy end, and then you can see I'm using the pointy end to pick up the backing, and now I'm going to use the tacky end of the Take Your Pick tool to place the gems right on top, and that is perfect adhesion and no messy glue. So hello Kathy and Judy, thanks for joining. This is the card. I've used the stamp set from the Paper Pumpkin kit Joy to the World, but I did cheat because I didn't want to fussy cut the wreath out, so I did use the wreath from the kit, but we used some of the new blending brushes to create our background and yeah, created this cute little Christmas card. And it really wasn't that difficult or hard or time consuming. Let's see, 26 minutes plus some chit chatter and whatnot. So there we have it, a little Christmas card. I need lots more, but that's a good start. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that you can purchase pretty much everything that I've demonstrated, except for the blending brushes. They won't be available to customers until the 5th of January, or if you join my team, you can get them on the 1st of December. That's exciting. Early Christmas present. And if you do shop as a customer, I do have a customer loyalty program. For every $15 that you spend in my every $50 that you spend in my online store, you collect a sticker. Collect 10 stickers and you'll get free products, $50 worth of products, just to say thank you. I really appreciate anyone who shops with me because it really does give me some joy, and I do a little happy dance. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope you are all well and safe, and I'll catch you at the next one. Bye for now.